I moved to St. Paul, Minnesota to be with my mom, and unfortunately she was not handling things financially as well as she had believed herself to be, and she was evicted. And when this happened, I was under 18 years of age. I was still 17, and I had just moved from another state. I didn't have any local identification or connections.
I stayed in my first shelter when I was 16, but once I turned 18, the options are a little bit less, so I stayed with friends or sometimes in my mom's car or in an emergency bed or wherever I could find to go.
Youth are looking for folks who are like them. They are looking for folks who have experienced similar hardships to them and who have made it, or who are pushing through and making it, who are living full lives, who are going to work, who are having families, who are having fun and being connected to the community. And it's hard to feel like you can do that if you don't see other people in the community who are like you doing that.
It's really a community-based response to youth homelessness. So we look at the community and the young people in our communities and what they're saying they want. And we try to connect those of us who have more resources with those of us who have less resources. A very, very simple concept.
I was able to visit with them at their home, to see the home first. They gave me a tour. I was able to go to lunch with them and have a conversation with them and get a feel for them before I was expected to just move in with these strangers. And you feel more like a person involved in your own life than a peg looking to be put into a slot.
At some point it became so clear that we are this stable couple and we love each other and that we have space in our home, and why wouldn't we? So it became how could we not instead of how could we?
We had resources that we could share and
space,
which is, what they need. So,
yeah.
The goal of the JLBT Host Home program is that for this amount of time, a young person didn't have to worry about food and shelter. So that's the beautiful thing about the JLBT Host Home program. That's the goal. What happens during that time, that's the icing on the cake.
I want to go to school. I want to get a job. I want to open a bank account. Then we sit down and we're like, okay, I asked them, I was like, okay, so you want these 3 things. How do you want to get them? Like, what are the steps that we need to take to get those things? And we start developing those kind of skills around, like, specifics on what is it that I need to do in order to get what it is that I want.
I feel like the program and the way Rocky speaks about the program, it is an act of solidarity.
Yeah.
It's saying this is a problem in our community and we need to act to solve it.
To see them living out and open and being comfortable and okay with that was definitely a positive thing for me.
Because we're community-based, we're very much a part of the community. This program wouldn't exist without community involvement. So community buy-in to Host Home is essential. And I think, when we think about transformation, Host Home is not only transformational for the young people and hosts, but also community by extension. So it's about communities recognizing that there's a need and standing up and doing something about it. So working together with community to make that happen.
The majority of homeless youth in this country, queer or not, are youth of color. So race and racism, white supremacy, white privilege are at the heart of their homelessness.
I went from that to not only being on firm footing, but being in a village, feeling like I was in a village of supportive, involved people who I could actually be involved with and support as well.